Nothing like cruising around in a hot rod.
Oh yeah,
Just
yeah.
special.
No, it's great. Put my foot in a little bit here, see what it does. Oh, you know, that's not even a half throttle. Boy, it really pulls strong. But it tracks very nicely.
Yep.
Boy, it's really fast. Welcome to an episode of Jay Leno's Garage, the car we're featuring today, 1957 Chevrolet. When you think of American hot rods, you think of the 32 Ford with the Chevy motor. The second biggest hot rod is probably the Tri-5 Chevy, 55, 56, 57. 57 being probably the one everybody lusted after the most. And for guys of a certain age, like my age, this was the cool car to have, because when I was in high school, these were 10 or 15 years old, and you could get them at a reasonable price. You know, a lot of people didn't realize, when the 57 Chevy came out, Ford was beating it 4 or 5 to 1 in sales. The Chevys didn't do that well, and Mitchell and all the guys at Chevrolet said, you know, let's put fins on it. Chrysler's got fins, they're selling like hotcakes. The 56 I thought was the perfect looking one. So they took the 56, they put fins on it, tried to make it a little more exciting, and it sold pretty well, but not nearly as well as the Fords. So consequently, there are a lot of these on the used car market 10 or 15 years later, and those of us that were getting into cars just loved to have them. You had the 283 Chevy, preferably with a 3-speed column shifter. Yeah, they're just wonderful car, and a good-looking car, a classic car, and they've just become the latest all-American hot rod after the 32 Ford. This one is owned by just a wonderful guy, entrepreneur. He is a philanthropist, does a lot to help people, runs a lot of companies, has a lot of companies. You probably know him best from Paul Mitchell Hair Products. John Paul DeJoria. JP, come on in.
All right, Jay.
Good to see you, my friend. Thanks for bringing this
Oh,
thing.
my pleasure.
Yeah, I got a sheet here on this thing. Just tell you some of the things that have been done. Lingenfelter LT4, 750 horsepower, 570 foot-pounds of torque, headers, Art Morrison frame, front coilovers, independent rear suspension. I mean, this thing is...
It's the real custom.
Real custom, yeah. I mean, when we were in high school, maybe you put a 4-barrel on. But, yeah. But just...
Jay, if I had this when I was in high school, I would have owned the high school.
Yeah, but yeah.
But I didn't quite have anything like this.
Now, you grew up here in Los Angeles.
Yes, correct.
You were on the other side of the tracks,
Yeah,
right?
more Echo Park, East LA a little bit.
Yeah.
Echo Park, we kind of came, Atwater was the furthest we would come west. And,
Right.
yeah, kind of on the other side of the tracks.
Well, I know you're a modest guy, but you're a self-made guy. You started these companies, and you became very wealthy, and he does wonderful work with charity. Just any kind of charity, he's involved with it. Veterans, he's really just a great, great guy. And it's fun that you get to take, not a Rolls Royce or a Mercedes-Benz, a 57 Chevy, because that was the car when we were kids.
And it's still super cool, Jay.
Yeah,
you know, when I was in high school, I had to build my own junker, a 1952 Ford Flathead with a blown engine. But we had auto shop in those days, and the schools should still have auto shop.
Yeah,
you can learn how to be a mechanic, you can learn how to weld, all kinds of cool stuff. But never anything like this when I was in high school, so this is...
Can we open the hood? Let's
Sure,
see
of
what
course,
it looks
please.
like under there.
Yeah, it's real special. And the story behind it's very nice, too.
Well,
That's
yeah.
almost 800 horsepower.
Yeah, pretty incredible.
Yeah.
And just all this detail work here
Yeah, a
is
lot of
just
nice stuff.
fabulous.
Yeah, trying to get some of the modern conveniences we didn't have in those days,
Yeah.
kind of incorporated in here, but not take away from the lines of anything, or not take away from the beauty of having a big fat engine like that in it.
Disc brakes up, or 4-wheel disc, is it?
Yep.
You know, and it sits right. Now, I love the fact that you haven't modified the body, because to me, these cars always look good. They just
Oh, beautiful.
could be made faster, stop better,
Right.
go around corners better. And that's what you've done. You've kept the classic look and just modified it and made it more of a street vehicle. But I love this custom air cleaning here. This
Is that
really,
nice?
Yeah, really nicely
Yeah,
done.
so it keeps it nice and clean, and it's a really, really great job was done on this car. And it's interesting how this car came about. Alexis and I, my race car driver, daughter, were looking for a 57 Chevy. So we found one that was in just really perfect shape. All the parts were there. but we want to get something a little nicer. So we fixed it up a little bit between the two of us. And then one day someone ran into it on a car rally, and I took it to my friend Angus Mitchell, who's also my business partner. He had a shop, and he said, JP, I'm going to fix it for you. So he took it in his shop to fix it for me and said, but JP, I want to do a couple of things to your car. Is that okay? I said, sure, no problem. So I live in Austin, Texas most of the time.
Right.
And so he said, you're not here on the West Coast that often. Let me keep it for a while. I said, sure, you could drive whatever you want. And then after a year, I wanted to see my car. He said, no, JP, hold off. We have a surprise for you. And his master mechanic, Noel, said, JP, trust me, you're going to love this. When I came back, 2 years later, says, now you can see your car. I saw this. It was a gift from him, and my guess is $300,000-$400,000 he himself spent on this, and it was a gift of love. He said, JP, for all you've done for me, I just want to give you some love. So I said, that blew my mind. It was just a real gift of love from Angus Mitchell. He was a car
I got to
collector.
be friends with Angus Mitchell, you know? My friends do the opposite. They go, Jay, you've been great to me. Listen, can you lend me a few more dollars? No, I'm kidding. No, it's great. I mean, well, yeah, it's really, it's so much better than a bottle of cologne, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh, it certainly is. My
Bottle
God.
of Old Spice. This is what you want on Father's Day. And your daughter, a world champion drag racer.
Oh,
correct?
Alexis DeJoria, sure. She races for Mandero. Mandero's our new tequila, by the way. Anyways, she's unbelievable. I think she's won about 7 national championships in top fuel funny car. I think her best thing was like from a dead stop into 1,000 feet, less than a quarter of a mile, 335 miles per hour in 3.8 something seconds.
Boy.
Yeah, she's won, I think, 7 national races, but the big one was about 7 years ago where she won the U.S. Nationals in Indy. It was a total upset. And I believe today she's the only girl left for the last couple of years that drives top fuel funny cars and just loves it. She retired for a few years and went back racing again, and she's still in the top 10. She's a hot rodder.
Well, see, he's got the street cred.
Yeah.
Going through a couple of generations. Okay, let's shut the hood again. Let's go over the car a little bit.
Sure.
I love the custom wheels.
Yep.
Those are Bear brakes in there, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, 4-wheel disc brakes. And those Art Morrison chassis, they just make it like a modern car.
Oh, it does. You could turn it without swaying. It's fabulous.
Wonderful.
Good shocks on it, too. Very good.
And like I say, I like that it still looks like a 57. Don't like when the roof is lowered and the channel.
I don't either.
No, I mean, it should look like, it should be recognized for what it is.
They did a good job on this when they designed this car. Just a beauty.
Yeah. And tell us about the custom interior.
You bet.
Boy, beautiful custom stitching
Oh, yeah,
on
these
the
seats
leather.
are just fabulous, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, we wanted to put a little bit of a coolness into it, so they thought, well, if we can design it, let's make it cool for JP. So they put a skeleton or two in there to remind us all of our biker days, and of course, just a beautiful job. I think it's one of the best upholstery jobs ever. And the seats are comfortable, Jay.
It's
very
really
comfortable.
nice. I love the custom dash.
Yeah.
It still looks like a 57 dash too.
Yep.
So wait a minute, there's a 200-mile-an-hour speedometer and a couple extra gauges in there.
That's all, but the dash is the original dash.
Yeah, no, it looks great. That's what I like when I can recognize what it was. I hate it when I get a 57 and it's all digital.
Yeah,
and I
you
go,
don't know what it is.
Is it a Tesla or is it a 57 Chevy? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So no, very nice. I like this wheel too.
Yeah.
Nice size wheel.
Nice driving also. And what also was nice about this 57 Bel Air is there wasn't a center post. It was just open like
Right.
that. You know, it was just open and beautiful. And wow, again, if I was in high school, I'd own the high school if I had this, you know, but of course I didn't.
But you can take it to a reunion. There you go.
Well, I did.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, in fact, I took it to just more recently to my 60th year reunion.
Wow.
Yeah, from Marshall High School.
there you go.
And of course, everyone was very excited about it. Not as excited as me that I even had something like this because they knew me as the old Johnny who had a little clunker he built in high school. You know, but this is very nice.
Did you get a lot of trouble as a kid when you were in school?
Well, yeah, kind of. Yeah, a little bit, you know,
Yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah, just enough to, yeah.
Yeah, but I think I made up for that in later years.
Yeah, it is fun. You know, I went to school in a small town in Massachusetts, and the fun thing about that is the teachers are still there 20, 30 years later.
Is that amazing?
Yeah, so that's what's fun about a small town. As much as I like LA, most of my friends that are teachers, they teach for 2 years, and they're working on a screenplay. I grew up in a town where you had career teachers.
Yeah.
You know, and I could go back. And Mr. Robichaud was in the same homeroom for 40 years with the same suit with the white chalk marks on it, you know, and the shoes coming
Same guy.
apart. In fact, I brought Mr. Robichaud out, my old high school teacher. I'm on the Tonight Show, you know. And he comes to my house. And, you got a drink, Jay? A drink? Well, all right. And he says, call me Paul. I go, no, you're Mr. Robichaud. I said, I don't even know what your first name was. You're always Mr. Robichaud. You always be Mr. Robichaud. You know, so it's just kind of funny. But I was very lucky. I had really good teachers.
Yeah.
I always appreciated that. Well, let's get back to the car. Transmission, 6-speed?
6-speed, right? I had a
Tremec, I think?
Yeah, no, 6-speed.
Oh, okay.
Corvette box there.
Oh, okay. Oh, the Chevy box. Okay, very nice. You know, it sits right. It looks right. Can we open the trunk and take a look at that?
Yeah, of course.
Let's see. It's key.
Let me grab the keys here. But I'm going to make a change on the trunk here, Jay, what you're going to look at. Because you gave me the idea, I had the fire extinguisher back here, and if something ever happened, I'd have to mess with the key here in order to open up the trunk in order to get out the fire extinguisher. So, so I'm going to take it out of there and put it in the
cool
trunk.
Right there, but if you have, you know, if you're on fire, which key is it?
Exactly, and how do you do the damn thing by that time? It's burnt out. It's
yeah.
very, very clean.
Boy,
very,
it's
very
beautifully
clean.
done, and of course the disconnect switch.
Yep.
Yeah, very nice.
Yep.
Yeah, boy.
Got a kill switch on and then a little trickle charger down here.
Right. And what is this button? Oh, a cigarette. Oh, a power plug.
Yeah, exactly. To put, you know, your battery charge, wherever
Right.
you want to put in there, you can put in there.
Oh, very good.
Or if you have someone in the trunk, they can charge your phone.
Yeah, there you go. Well, nicely done.
Yeah, very, very nice shot. You did a beautiful job. Angus is just superstar.
Can we take it for a ride?
Of course, I'd love to take you for a ride.
Take
Ned.
it for a ride.
Okay.
Oh, that sounds healthy.
Oh, yes.
Manly clutching this thing.
Oh, you got it.
Oh yeah, she moves. The nice thing about it, when you put your foot in, it doesn't feel like it's going to come apart. They drive so many cars. People do one part, but not the other part. You know?
Nothing like cruising around in a hot rod.
Oh yeah,
Just
yeah.
special.
Oh, it's great.
When you first started collecting, Jay, what was your first car that you were collecting?
I guess the first collector car was my, in 1988, I bought a Packard Twin 6 that Phil Hill had restored years ago. And I knew Phil and liked him, so that made it a good deal. You know, I don't consider myself a collector, I just never sell anything.
I don't know.
And then I go, oh, okay, I like this. It's kind of like every girl you went out with in high school still looks the same. You can go back and, you know, yeah, it makes it kind of fun. Because a lot of times, like I just pulled my 53 Hudson out. I hadn't driven that in 6 months. Oh, now it's like a brand new car again. Oh, this is so much different. Yeah. You know, that's the thing. There's so many bad restoration guys out there that rip people off, and you know, it ruins a hobby. People get all, you know, all disappointed, and yeah. Oh yeah, that's good. Yeah. There's no problem horsepower can't cure when you're
That's
dealing with a car. It doesn't really help. Oh, it goes pretty good, you know. I got that Demon 170, you know, that new Dodge.
Yep.
It's like the ultimate Hellcat. It's 1,024 horsepower, but it just goes in the street. It's hilarious. The wheels actually, you actually get the front wheels off the ground.
The front wheels off the ground?
Yes,
Wow.
you can do wheel stands with it.
Yeah, that was the one going down on the left when you go down the aisle there.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was over 1,000 horsepower.
It's great looking down the gun sights on the hood with the two winged.
Yep.
You got so much power here. Hilarious. It's probably very light car, you know, door guard beams or any heavy things like
and
that.
I think the custom frame under here is much lighter than the original frame.
Oh, wait, sure.
Yeah, all this here is original. All original, other than, of course.
Did you know the color he was going to paint it?
Well, yeah, well, that we did talk, because it was candy apple red to start with, but not this nice candy apple red. It was candy apple red. So they gave me a
I like this because it's a little darker.
Exactly. Mine was a little bit lighter. And the shifting's very smooth on this.
Beautiful, yeah. I still got 2 gears left.
Yep. Many cars, but I keep it in England. I have 2 of them. It's a 1954 Bentley Continental R.
Oh, Continental R.
Oh, yeah. And they're in mint condition. One's Eric Clapton's, and the other was mine that I bought as a basket job and rebuilt to original.
That has your up the trouser leg gear shift right
there
here.
There you go. Mine, and this right-hand drive, so mine's down here.
Yeah.
Drive it there. But fabulous car. And what's amazing is It was the first car ever developed in a wind tunnel, right? Anyways, in second gear, it's a 6-cylinder, 3 carburetors. In second gear, it goes 70 miles an hour in second gear.
Wow.
Really, well, a lot of power.
Well, the Bentley Continental, I believe, in '51 was, England had the fastest motorcycle, Black Shadow, the fastest saloon, which was the Continental,
Yep.
and the fastest sports car, the XK120 Jag.
Oh, they had it all that year. Yeah. I know my big biker years of the early 1960s and mid-60s, that the top motorcycles, which none of us had, were BSA, a Norton 750, and the Triumph 650 or something
Right.
like that. And we had funky old Harley Davidsons that were broken apart, we put together, you know, but well, yeah, England had it.
Put my foot in a little bit here, see what it
Yeah.
does. You know, it's not even a half throttle. Boy, it really pulls strong. But it tracks very nicely.
Yeah,
Yeah, you didn't want this when you're 16. You'd be dead by now.
yeah, probably.
And whatever happened to that kid, JP, that had
Yeah, exactly.
the car in high
Going
school?
all
Oh, yeah.
on the fancy
He
car,
died back in
and the girls, yeah,
67.
the hot
yeah.
girls, you know, what happened to him? Well,
Boy, it's really fast.
I wanted it together, so if ever I wanted to drive this and not trailer it, but drive it up, for example, the Concorde DeElegance, I could drive it up and not
Right.
even worry about it.
Right.
I remember in high school when they asked you, what do you want to do when you get out of high school? I didn't know. So I said, but I'd love to drive. I said, if I could get a job, this is 1952, now 62, January. If I get a job that would pay $150 a week, which was a lot of money then, okay?
Right.
And I could drive, that would be a dream come true.
Oh, yeah?
That would be a dream. We just like to drive.
Remember when $5 an hour was a dream come true?
Oh, yeah.
It's one of the nicest Restomods I've been in. Really did a beautiful job.
And it has air conditioning. I love it because the air conditioning unit's only that this.
I know, isn't that
big.
amazing?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah,
I like to put them in my car, so I like air conditioning in the summer,
Those
especially in
vintage,
Texas.
vintage Air is probably the company that does it. They do a wonderful job.
Oh, yes.
And the horn is here. There you go. I mean, did you ever think you'd have all this? Isn't it crazy?
No, absolutely not. Jay, there's not a day that goes by that I don't walk into my house at Malibu where I built this beautiful house that I don't say, Creator of souls, whoever you are, thank you. Thank you for blessing me with this incredible life.
You know, when I was in high school, I was dyslexic, so I was a terrible student. And the guidance counselor calls my mother in, and I'm there. She said, Jay, I even thought of taking Jay out of school, Mrs. Leno. I was like, no, why would I do that? And he goes, you know, education's not for everyone. I'm going, hey, I'm in the room. Yeah, and then he said, you know, McDonald's, Jay works at McDonald's, right? Well, they have a program they teach you to make change. And I go, I don't want to work at McDonald's.
Yeah.
So when I got this night show, I invited my guidance counselor on the show. And it was really
Oh, how beautiful.
It was really funny.
When I was in the 11th grade in A11, I had a business 101. And one of my good buddies was in the class with me, Michelle Gilliam. Anyways, we were passing notes back and forth. We got caught passing notes by Mr. Wax, our teacher. He read the note. It was a stupid note, right? Meet you at Winchell's for a coffee or Coke after school, something crazy, right? Anyways, he read it to the whole class and said, see these two, Michelle Gilliam and this Johnny DeJoria? They're never going to amount to anything because they're not paying any attention. So don't hang out with them, right? Well, Michelle and I, you know, we care less what the guy said. Anyways, when I turned 50 years old, Michelle found him. And Michelle Gilliam turned out to be Michelle Phillips, the mama's office.
right. Oh, that's
anyway, so she found Mr. Wax and she brought him to the 50th reunion and we remind him of the incident.
Oh,
you know?
that's funny. That's great.
Mr. Wax, we did take you to heart. And he said, oh no, I couldn't have said that. I said, yes, sir, you did. And he wasn't very pleasant. He was still a little bit of a sticky guy. He wasn't too pleasant.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, we found him. The two most likely to probably not succeed for Michelle and I.
Jay has the ability, but does not apply himself.
Exactly.
That was me.
Oh, my mom saved a report card, and I still have it, when I was in, I think, 5th grade. Johnny can do so much better than he's doing right now. Have him pay attention. You know, that was to my mother on the report card.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I know. Boy, I like driving this car. It's not a chore. It's really very nice to drive. It drives.
You know, I think that's important, like you, to have a nice car that you build and you like to drive it.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
a joy. they're always so nice to look at, but to drive in, it's even nicer.
Well, JP, thanks for bringing this thing along. Beautiful car.
My pleasure, Jay.
It's a great story. Thanks for all you do for our veterans and the homeless and education and all that. He's a wonderful guy, and I can't thank you enough.
Well, Jay, my pleasure. It's cool cruising with the J.
Oh yeah, this thing is great. Put our foot in it.
Yay!